Are you ready to record? Do you feel like clocking in or no?
Yeah, hang on a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The sounds of being a straight
It's so
man.
angry. I just heard this clip. I want to make sure I had the song correct.
I feel like I'm literally listening to the soundtrack of being a straight man.
No, hang on. It's crazy and angry. I don't know this song. It was in like a video I scrolled by, and I laughed a lot. Hold on. Hang on.
Son, where'd you find this?
That's an insane thing to put into a metal song.
Where'd you find this?
Where'd you find this?
Iggy, get up on the couch, bruh.
I've heard that used in rap songs, actually.
I heard there's a song by an artist that I used to like. I don't know if I'm allowed to like him anymore because he seems problematic
Wait,
now.
are we
I don't
recording?
know. Yeah.
Oh.
I already clapped. Don't worry.
No.
I've already done your job. Your literal one job already did it.
No, I had funny things to say at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And that
shit.
wasn't supposed to be
Well, we haven't done
it.
the theme song. Okay, I'll cut all that out. What funny thing do you think you have to tell everybody?
Well, I had
okay, sure.
I have it locked in.
No,
Usually,
for sure. No, totally.
shut up. Usually the clap like locks me in. Like when
The clap locks you in is an insane sentence to have on the internet. But okay, sure. Pop off, King.
hold on.
Okay, period.
All right, so there we go. So I got in my car on my
Sure.
way over here.
Sorry, Iggy's ears are cracking me up.
Hell
Sorry.
yeah, dude.
Keep going.
I got in my car. I plugged in my phone.
Sure.
CarPlay connects. Yeah, I'm
Right.
good. I'm with it like that.
T.
As soon as CarPlay comes up, it suggests your address because
T.
it knows
Oh.
that we are locked in.
Right,
Dog.
right.
Are you starting your timer?
I am, because I just got the Siri suggestion to start a 27-minute timer.
That is amazing.
Well, we do tend to record the same day at the same time. Every
Yeah,
week.
and that's awesome. It has finally gotten to the point where like our phones are like, we know what y'all are up to.
You want to go to Amanda's house? Here's
And
the
do some
address.
goofy
Also,
goober
do you
shit.
you don't have to GPS to my house.
I sometimes
It's like
will.
4 turns to get here.
No, I know how to get here. It's
We
like
live
what
almost within walking distance.
brother, if there is like what if a tree fell? It was raining earlier. I don't know. But like there have been so many times, man, where I think there's no chance I'll need to GPS this. And I'll start going and 2 minutes down the road is closed. And I'm like,
really?
not here, but
Oh,
like
it's
to
just
other
like
locations.
in your life, yeah.
This has happened so many times. I
Yeah.
will GPS everywhere just to be absolutely 110% sure. Because
Also, it's the vibe of Apple CarPlay.
yeah,
Sometimes it's just like the vibe.
I just feel so
Clocked
classy.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I was talking to a friend earlier about dating.
Okay.
And she like has been feeling some frustrations. She's 27, and so just think of a 27-year-old man. That's what she's dealing with.
My heart goes out to her.
Truly. So she and some other friends have had like a lot of bad dates
Right.
recently,
Well.
and they're all just kind of reaching to the point where they're like, "Why are we even trying?" And
Great
they're toying
fucking
with
question.
the idea of being like old cat ladies and blah blah blah. So
That's my
I
truth.
said, so we're discussing. There's like 3 ways that you can like approach going on a date.
Okay, I'm scared. Because it's a date with a man. I'm scared.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
The first way to approach it is being scared.
Oh, okay. Well, got that one
'Cause
on lock
you're-
already,
You're
team.
like nervous. You're like, I don't know if I'm going to like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is going to go well. I hope he likes me or whatever.
Right.
Like I hope I impress him.
I hope he's like what I think he's going to be and not like a freak.
Sure.
Yeah.
The second way is excited. Like,
Sure.
hey, I hope this works out.
Love.
This is a cute dude or
Right.
a person I'm going on a date with.
Sure.
Sorry for being heteronormative, but like this is a person. The camera that was literally so heteronormative.
Why did the camera die?
The camera shut off.
Huh?
It's plugged in, right?
It is plugged in.
And we're not even gonna get to use that joke.
No, wait. It could still be recording. Hang on.
It's probably not. Is it?
Okay, keep going. I think that's so weird. It's plugged in, so the battery shouldn't die.
That's
That's odd. Anyway,
very
keep going.
odd.
Sorry.
Anyway, so the second
If
way.
not, we have all of it on audio, so who cares?
Yeah, sure. The second way is that like you're excited for it. You're like, I hope this works out. I'm gonna be the best version of myself. Like
Right.
this is gonna be fun. Blah blah. The third way is the way that I suggested.
I'm so scared.
Third way is chaotic.
Okay, sure.
And so you're going into like you're going in with a mindset of like, this is almost certainly not going to work out. Nay, probably we're not even going to go on a second date.
Sure.
And so because of that, I'm going to dive headfirst into this thing and a little bit sow some chaos. Like, I'm going to be not the best version of myself. I'm going to be like an exaggerated version of myself. We're going to get into like, I'm going to ask this guy like insane questions, bring up like crazy topics. Like, so how do you feel about having kids 10 seconds into the date?
Yeah.
Like, do things like that because like your approach is, I'm going to get at least a story out of this.
True.
But if the guy sticks around, then you're like, that was a crazy first date, right? Then you can like actually like introduce yourself.
You can build something off of it.
You've been fucking weird, and he still is like, yeah, I'm around for this. You seem cool.
No, totally.
And I said, not to tell women how to act or date or whatever, but like I said, if you're really getting frustrated with like trying to like be real on dates, just be crazy.
Sure.
Be like legit insane.
I support being an unhinged woman.
Be unhinged and funny and just like kind of off your rocker and see what happens.
I talked about this man a while ago on the podcast, but my workplace crush, we're like cool, we're friends, everything's fine. I popped him up on my close friends story, and then I started barking at Justin Bieber, and I know that he saw it, but like, that's funny. So, like, I support being unhinged in front of people that you think are cool / people that you might want to pursue something with. Because, like, here's the thing, right? It's like, the longer I'm dating someone, I don't get more normal.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
No. So I might as well start at a relatively unhinged pace.
Give them the crazy up front.
Right, exactly. And then just be that way the whole time. This is my personality. This is probably, this isn't prescriptive, but I have been on 2 dates from apps ever because I'm not an apps person. I just can't get there. If you use them, I'm not saying
I like it.
I just can't do it. Like, it really stresses me out. And so I went on 2 dates from apps in 2018, right after I graduated from college, because I thought that's what all the adults were doing. And then I was like, hey, this sucks.
Yeah.
And then I have never gotten on. Yeah, never got on them ever again. And then the only people I've dated are people I've been friends with before we were dating.
Right.
Because I can't do the like, hi, my name's Amanda. It's not.
My favorite color is blue.
No.
My parents are still together.
No.
I'm from blah, blah. Yeah.
I don't give a shit about being like that. I want you to know who I am as a person, and then we date, not because here's the thing is like, I've heard, this is not an original idea, but like with like male female relationships, like first dates specifically, I have heard someone else say that like typically men, when they are going on a first date with a woman, their perception of the woman is 0%, and they're like, all right, prove to me that we're compatible or that you're cool or that this is worth my time or whatever. And with women, it's the opposite, that women start out believing the best in a man, and it takes a minute. And so by the time you're at like 50-50, Iggy, you have to chill out. By the time you're at the same place, the man is investing and the woman's on her way out. And that like, that is tough because for a man, they start not giving a shit, and they start not like thinking that the woman's cool because they're waiting for something to prove. So for a man, it can only go up, but for a woman, it can only go down. And that's tough. But if you start out as friends, I'm dating this person because I already know them. So we're already starting.
You have that foundation
at something and not proving or hacking away at your personality to disprove or like whatever.
Huh. That's very interesting. I've never heard that before.
I've also heard another theory that I support that's called the taxi cab theory, which is that men who are single will just date whoever's available and hope that especially if it's men dating women, hope that she is like whatever he wants her to be. But if not, it's like, okay, get out of the cab, next person. Oh, you're not it, get out of the cab, next person. And women wait for the taxi. And that's also a disconnect, that like women have been conditioned to stop and wait for a taxi. Men have been conditioned to pick up whoever's available. And so again, you're meeting at this like disconnect where you're expecting 2 different things, and it can only go one way for one. And obviously that's not true for everybody. Yeah. But I have found that to be true in my life specifically, that like the worse things got in my brain, the better things we're getting for the man, or like whatever. So anyway, if you're nervous about dating, especially if you're a girl and you're nervous about dating men, I see you in that place and I support you. We're going to get to the top of my pyramid in a second, but I saw a comedian over the weekend who was so fucking funny. And one of the things she said right at the end of her set, she was like, she's like, why would I ever, she's 41 and she's single. She's like, why the fuck would I ever be friends with a man? And she said, a straight man. And she said, when did we start doing that goofy shit? And she said, she said, the fuck do I look like being friends with a straight man? That makes me look dumb as hell. And it really made me giggle. Anyway, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to do the theme song?
Yeah.
Iggy's standing there giving weird energy, but I don't think you can see her.
She wants me to do something.
No, she wants Rachel. Rachel's been gone all day, and she's been...
Igg,
come on, weirdo. Come sit up on the couch, bruh.
All right, let's do it. Well, you have to kick off I'm
doing the thing. Okay. Welcome back to the Pyramid, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Amanda, and I'm your host every single freaking week, except for the weeks I'm fucking not. What are you laughing about?
It was just funny.
My God. Do your thing, please.
And I'm Eli, the dipshit participation trophy of co-host.
Iggy, who are you? And this is
Iggy.
Iggy, the mascot. I don't know if you can see her, but she's right in front of me.
I love the thumbnail that you do every week, where it's like you talking, me either laughing or doing something crazy, and then just fucking Iggy.
And then Iggy. Last week, the thumbnail was Iggy facing the couch, which I thought was funny. Yeah. What she's doing is she's looking over the couch at the door, waiting on Rachel to come in, but it looks like she's mad at us, and she's just sitting with her back to us, like, fuck you guys, I'm mad.
She's pouting.
She's so sweet. Also, I keep all those screenshots, and the screenshot folder on my desktop is awesome of Iggy, because it's all these, like, fucking insane pictures of her.
Hell yeah.
She's just going to be anxious and walk around. You would talk about the bottom of your pyramid, bruh?
I would love nothing more.
Do it.
The bottom of my pyramid is... okay, so I've gone, pretty heavy the past couple of weeks with my bottom.
Sure. It's been a pretty heavy bottom.
I do have a pretty heavy bottom. So this one will be light. The bottom of my pyramid are, the dumb little minor injuries to body parts that you never otherwise think about.
Speak on it.
Like I have this little tiny cut right on the tip of my pointer finger.
Hate that.
And so every single time I touch literally anything with that finger, I'm like, oh, that was a little uncomfortable.
That hurts.
I'm running my fingers through my hair and it irritates it a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Or I've got my Achilles tendon is a little tiny bit tight on this ankle. It's so dumb. I never think about what my heel is doing ever.
You got that birthday coming up, huh?
And then yeah, 70 is gonna be rough. But all those little things, those little minor inconveniences, are just so annoying.
Yeah, I think I slept. I think I mentioned this the other day.
My trap is on here,
on my shoulder, not like this, but straight up on my shoulder. And for 2 weeks, I was like, my shoulder is killing me. And my friend Mac was like, it's because you're getting closer to 30. She's like, once you hit 30, downhill on a ski slope so fucking fast.
So many things get better when you turn 30.
Right.
In my experience, your body, not one of them.
I'm so excited to turn 30. I'm turning 29 this year.
29?
And it's even the last year of my 20s. I'm so fucking excited.
Hell yeah.
Igg.
We need to do something about this.
What,
She's
this
stressed.
dog?
Iggy.
Igg, come sit up here. Hold that bone.
She doesn't want to.
Hold that right there. She may not know that's up there.
Where is the ball?
It's right there.
You said the ball.
No, I said the bone.
Oh.
You can watch the film back. Go sit next to Eli.
I looked for a ball, and that's why I was like, it's not here.
She's getting really... She also misses Rachel.
Come here.
Come
in.
Oh, the bottom of my pyramid, bitch, is standing room only concerts at my ripe age of 28, almost 29.
Yup.
I went to a concert on Wednesday with one of my besties. God. Had a great time. I'm glad that I went. We went to the Basement East in Nashville. Standing room only, concrete floor, duh.
8
Not only
ceilings.
was it's so cramped in there in all ways. Not only were my legs and also my lower back and then also my upper back by the end of it, not only was that obviously in so much pain, but it smelled like an armpit by the time it was over, because all of these gay hipsters were in a room, and all of them were using that aluminum-free deodorant bullshit. No, you need to get you on some real deodorant if you're going to be standing next to people. I was standing from 7 to 10 p.m.
No.
Standing the whole time.
I'm not going.
The only time I sat down was when I went to go to the potty, and I only went so I could sit down for a second because my back hurt that bad.
Sure.
And the concert was great. The opener was awesome. I saw Orla Gartland. It was incredible. But, like, I can't do it anymore. I think, like, legitimately, if someone's like, do you want to go to a concert at the Basement East? I will have to tell them no. Like, I don't care who's going to be there. It is so painful.
I'll leave.
I cannot do it. Can't do it.
I'll leave.
What's the middle of your pyramid, bruh?
Dogs that jump.
Okay.
Because, like...
Care to elaborate?
What I was like, no.
I'd be like, all right, middle of my pyramid.
I love dogs. They're the greatest.
True.
And a dog that like so I say this because like
when you said that, Iggy looked right at the camera. There's a human soul trapped inside that dog. Anyway, keep going.
I swear to God, yeah.
She went.
But so my neighbor's dog a day or two ago was like, tethered in the backyard. It's got like a run scenario. Yeah. And I went over. Her name's Stormy. She's a goofy little dog.
BFS with Otis, canonically.
Sort of.
Sort of? Okay.
They're fine with each other, but Otis doesn't give a shit about other dogs. So Stormy loves him. And so Stormy's out in the backyard. I went over to say hi to her, and she, like, while on her leash, like, jumps up at me, and her paws hit my pants.
Sure.
Her muddy fucking paws. They hit my pants.
Of course.
Went downwards and landed on my off-white shoes.
Sure.
They're not nice shoes. It's fine.
But
I can wash my pants. But, like...
It's annoying.
Yeah.
And also, train your dog.
Yes. And the reason it's the middle is, like, it is not the dog's fault. It is never the dog's fault.
True.
It is the people's fault.
True.
Figure out how to get your dog to not jump.
Get
like that dog is crazy and super like high strung and jumpy because it doesn't get enough attention and exercise.
Right.
And that's on you, dog. Or you person.
Dog owner.
DAWG, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like I still love the dog and I will go give the dog attention and I'm good with dogs that
But I am gonna
jump,
be mad.
but like I'm
gonna be peeved.
I now have muddy pants.
I'm gonna be miffed. Yeah, I get that. The middle of my pyramid is plotting and scheming my outfit for Beyonce. So
hold on.
What?
You brought this up when you first got tickets to Beyonce. You were like, I gotta think about what I'm gonna wear. Am I gonna be like wearing this or wearing that? Am I gonna go tits out for the boys? Am I gonna do blah blah blah? That wasn't your exact phrase.
And what about it, girl?
I'm just chuckling at like the saga that has been you picking an outfit for a concert.
Okay, but good news, huge news, some might say. I have figured out a vibe, which is important. So I was sitting at another event with my bestie Austin. Shout out Austin, love you so bad, diva.
What's up, Austin?
And Austin and I are going to Beyonce with our another bestie named Mimi. And Mimi loves Beyonce more than me and Austin do. It's a different, like, emotional thing. Okay. Mimi has had her outfit planned. Like, she knew immediately, locked in, no questions, done. And she's fashioning her outfit based on a specific picture of Beyonce, where she's... What are you doing? Not listening to women. That's what he's doing.
Oh, my God. Go
Just
ahead.
saying. No, I'll wait.
I'm listening.
I don't care.
I'm helping another woman.
Well, and she's going to drop it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, and also Rachel's here. Don't hit the camera. Okay, I don't want to talk about Chick-fil-A. I'm talking about Beyonce.
Go ahead.
So, Rachel's going to come back in just a second. There might be a little bit of another interruption. But Mimi is fashioning her outfit on a picture that's on Beyonce's Instagram of her in one of, like, the beginning of the tour looks. That's like, yeah, there you go. You got it, Rachel. T. That's her, like, with a cowboy hat, and it has, like, a leather jacket and, like, leather pants and, like, whatever. And, like, that's the vibe. Mimi's clocked that, locked in forever.
Great.
Austin and I were like, what are we going to do? And I was going back and forth about this denim idea and these white cowboy boots idea, and I was like, I don't know, this doesn't really feel like how I resonate with the South. This feels like someone else's Southern expression, but not mine, and I want to feel good and look good. Both of those things are oftentimes connected. That I look good or feel good if I look good, right?
Right.
Especially at a concert. So, Austin found a picture of, like, some of her backup dancers, I think, wearing these, like, old style, like, Western jackets that have, like, big embroidered roses on them. And Austin works with us, and Austin's a painter. And so he was like, I bet I can buy a blazer and paint the jacket to look like these stitched roses, like, no problem, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But then I saw some people who were making like merch and stuff, and I was like, wait, like knockoff merch. I was like, wait a second, I think I got it. So like one of the lines in Beyonce's song, I can't remember which one it was, where she talks about her Jiffy cornbread, booty corn fed. Like that's kind of like the vibe. And somebody was selling like athletic shorts that said booty corn fed, and I was like, oh, wait a second, hang on. I was like, hang on, I think I have an idea. And so what I'm gonna do is base my look off of Red Solo Cup Party in the Backyard Barbecue South, not Pageant Queen South, because I resonate a little bit more with the former. So I have an idea. I have jeans that I want to wear, or jeans I'm going to like alter. I have an idea for a top. I have an idea. I'm going to wear a trucker hat because I love a good trucker hat. There's plenty of evidence on this podcast. I love a trucker hat. Yes. So I think I've got it, but now I have to make some of this stuff. And I'm a little nervy, but I'm locked in on a vision and I feel good about it. So that's good.
Also, booty corn fed. I have 2 jokes about that. Neither one of them are very good. Shocking. I know. One is the corn from a booty?
Sure.
You're being fed from booty corn. That's disgusting.
What's the next one?
Secondly, is you work for the feds. Like there's the booty corn division of the feds, and you are a booty corn fed. I said, let's revisit my previous sentence of neither one of them is very good.
One of the few times I agree with Mr. Farmer.
Someone cackled. Someone listening just went, ha. Guarantee it. Write in if you went,
no, don't admit that. If you laughed at that joke, don't admit it. Keep it to yourself.
I swear to you. I bet fucking like Alyssa's gonna write in and be like, I went, hey.
Not too much on Alyssa. Not too much on actual listeners. She would never. None of our listeners would ever think you're funny.
None of our listeners.
Oh my god. What's the top of your pyramid, dumbass?
I have 2 tops of the pyramid. One is that a remaster of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion just dropped out of fucking nowhere, and I've been playing it a lot. My brothers and I, like, it's a single player RPG game. It's this whole medieval style world. You just kind of explore and fight goblins and trolls and shit like that. It's very fun. But it's a single player game. There's no other people in your game, and so like the 3 of us will sit in a voice chat on Discord and each play our own independent version of the game or whatever, and just kind of like shoot the shit, and that has been like truly delightful.
That's so fun.
The second top of the pyramid that I have is that we, like Second Harvest Food Bank where I work, we put on this big volunteer celebration event for like wrap up Volunteer Appreciation Month. Is the first one that we've done. This is the biggest event that I put on, and it went fucking perfectly. It went so great. We had volunteers come out from like all 3 facilities and like do this big event. We fed them. We made like root beer and Coke floats for everyone. Like awesome. It was so dope. It went so well. And so I am proud of myself professionally, and it was just like a good event.
As someone who works in corporate events, I am familiar with that feeling.
Well, yeah, but you do it like all the time.
That is my job.
I never put on events. It's like putting one on, and it went flawlessly. Was really great.
That is a really good feeling. And
the CEO was there, and my boss was there. Nice. A bunch of other like senior directors and stuff were all there, and they're like, Eli, this was literally fantastic.
You're like, I know.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Give me a raise.
The top of my pyramid is funny women, specifically funny fat women who remind me that my life is just not that serious. You know what I mean? To like laugh at some of the bullshit that like really stresses me out. Like I said at the beginning, I went to see Dulce Sloan this last
Dulce.
Mm-hmm. And she's been on a couple episodes of an NPR Rest in Power because Donald Trump wants to defund NPR. But she's been on a couple of guest spots on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, and she's always the funniest one. And they don't have a script. So I had a feeling that
I've seen clips of that. Is that a show?
It's like the news game show that NPR does.
I think
You probably have.
I think I'm aware of that. Anyway, sorry.
It's awesome. And I went to see a live taping of theirs a long time ago, and it's such a fun like show. But the guest judges, or the guests, like whatever they're called, contestants, I guess, they don't have a script. Excuse me. And so they're just riffing the whole time. And Dulce Sloan is always the funniest one on all of her episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently. And so I got an Instagram ad that was like, it was her being like, Nashville, I'm coming to City Winery on these dates, whatever. And it was like last week, and I bought me and Austin tickets just on a whim because I fucking felt like it.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, yep, sounds great. Like, no problem. I have seen a lot of comedy in my, ripe age of 28. And it was the best show I've seen, period. Hands down.
Wow.
It was funnier than the Curtis Connor show. It was funnier than the, who was the guy that was BFFs with Trevor Noah? His name escapes me, and everybody always says his name wrong.
Hassan.
No. Oh my God. I can see he does great. He's done some interviews with Barack Obama. There's someone in their car yelling at me with this.
Yes.
Hassan Minaj.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Hassan
And you
Piker.
said no.
Hassan Minaj.
You are so used to hating on me. You're just like,
no,
whatever you're saying is no.
you hating on me and me having to be like,
I was literally offering help.
It's the Robin Batman thing of Batman smacking Robin, but
except
Robin
I said Hassan.
Robin started
Except I said Hassan.
Yes, and I was like, he's going to say Hassan Piker.
No, I wasn't.
Hassan Minaj, yes.
Hassan Piker's not a comedian.
Funnier than him, sorry. Who else? I've seen Taylor Tomlinson twice. Funnier than her.
Funny.
Like, I saw Nicole Byer. She was funnier than Nicole Byer. Nicole Byer's pretty fucking funny. I've seen Carol Burnett. She's funnier than Carol Burnett. Like, it was so fucking good. It was so good that there were several moments where I was like, if I don't catch a breath, I'm going to shit my pants. Like, the muscle tensing I'm doing from laughing will force a turd out of my ass because I can't stop laughing. And she's from Atlanta, and there were a couple of jokes that she didn't have to explain, and she would stop and be like, I'm so glad I'm in a place where I don't have to explain this joke.
Yeah.
Because when I do this she calls people in California surf Yankees. It's like, when I have to do it in LA for the surf Yankees, I have to explain to them what draws are. But now that I'm in Nashville, I don't have to explain that because this is a room full of white people who have met a black person.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff. It was so fucking funny.
That's awesome.
And I have been back on my Brittany Broski bullshit recently. She is also that same kind of girl.
She's very funny.
And like, I am so much better, I think, at managing my anxiety and giggling at my life when I have the framework of comedy, specifically like female comedy.
Hell yeah.
And Brittany Broski will have a full crash out about a man on her podcast, and then she'll go, and guess what? Wasn't even that cute. And then she'll start laughing. And I'm like, you know what? It's just really not that serious. Like, nothing is ever real. Most things in my life are not that serious. Like, there's humor in most everything, which I really appreciate. So,
yeah.
Funny women, specifically if they're fat, love you bad.
Dude, Brittany Broski, not to get too into this, and we can actually get into the episode because we're 30 minutes in or whatever.
True.
She does such a good job. Like, we've talked about this before, but I really appreciate like how it's just so like, it seems very like stream of consciousness. Like, she just fucking goes
in a room by herself.
But she's like articulate.
Yeah.
She's funny.
Yeah.
She like gets back on track really well. Like, she can veer off the path and then comes back to it. Like, she's so good at what she does that like sometimes when my thoughts are going like a mile a minute, I feel fucking crazy.
Yeah.
She does it, but in like an overall organized way. Like, she embodies and vocalizes what like mile a minute thought I'm experiencing and like appreciating all of my emotions at the exact same time and still coming to like and still like landing the plane.
Yeah.
She's awesome at that.
She's awesome. She's very
friend
fucking
of the podcast,
smart.
Brittany Broski.
But Brittany Broski, who did like one of my TikToks one time, so friend of the pod, on her Lost by Marbles Again account, not her Brittany Broski one, on her secret Brittany account, liked my TikTok one time. So, for actual friend of the podcast, Brittany Broski. Yeah. She's one of those people that if I met her in real life, I literally wouldn't know what to do. I think I would shut down. I think I'd die. You know what I mean?
Is she a good singer? I think I've seen her sing, and she's awesome.
Yeah, she's put out 2 songs like in the last couple of weeks. One of them was a Harry Styles cover, which I didn't think was that good.
I saw one where she was crushing it.
Yeah, she wrote a song that's called The Sun, which is like, I can't talk about it or I'm going to start crying, but the lyric is like, how am I so good but still not enough? And it's this idea of like, specifically in dating as a fat woman, that men will tell you like, I love hanging out with you. You are one of the best people I know. You're so funny. You're all these things, but I can't date you. It's like, how am I so good but not enough? Like, what the fuck is that? And like, how am I the sun but not bright enough? And like that idea, I'm like, She gets me for real. Like, she knows my struggle for real. Anyway, I love reading.
We need to put out a drinking game for this podcast because, like, one of them would be like, we have to have like quotes, like things that we say a lot. One of yours would be, I can't think about it too much, or I can't talk about it too much, or I'm gonna cry,
or I'm gonna fill in the blank. I'm gonna get angry, or I'm gonna cry, or I'm gonna start yelling.
We could keep it as just I'm gonna cry. Like, I can't talk about it too much, or I'm gonna cry. As like a once a week kind of
I'd
thing.
be crying a lot. One of my
you do be shedding them tears.
I really do be shedding them tears for real. The episode this week is called No More Crybabies, and I was like, I literally out loud to myself this morning said, bad news for me. Because I cry a lot. I do be crying a lot.
And that's great.
Thank you.
Well, it's not great.
Thank you for you approving my emotional experience. So we have 4 emails. I'm going to rip through them because they're great, but we do have a lot of them. Okay, the first one is from Cheyenne.
Sorry to cut you off. Let's just do 3 like we have been, and then save the one for next week.
Really good.
Okay.
I'm gonna do all of them today. One of them is from Cheyenne.
What's up, Cheyenne?
And she wrote in last week, and we pushed her to this week.
Oh, okay.
She said the subject line is insufferable Pittsburgh native checking in. Cheyenne has been a fan since day one. Yeah. Cheyenne was our first fan for real. She said, "Dearest Amanda and Elijah B. Collins." Elijah B. Collins is a drag queen, but it's Lydia B. Collins. So she's calling you Elijah B. Collins.
My middle initial actually is B.
That is true.
For breakfast.
What's up, you guys? It's been a minute. It's Bestie Cheyenne from Pittsburgh. Wanted to share a funny Dance Mom related anecdote. My husband and I were recently at Disney World riding the Skyliner thing that they have, and we were sharing our gondola with a woman and her 2 young children. We started making small talk and told them that we're from Pittsburgh. And there was a short pause, and then one of the little girls, who's probably like 10 or 11, in the cutest Southern accent said, "Did y'all know Abby Lee Miller?" And as a diehard Dance Moms fan, I was delighted, and as a proud Pittsburgh native, I was slightly horrified that this child's first association with our city is the ALDC, and not, Mr. Rogers, the Steelers, Andy Warhol, Heinz Ketchup, anything like that. But of course, I proceeded to show her some of the photos of me meeting Abby and the other moms, and thought to myself, I can't wait to tell Amanda and Eli about this.
That's so awesome.
Bottom of the pyramid is coming back to work after vacation. Yeah. That's on the bottom of your pyramid before. In a moment of vulnerability, talking about Amanda's tears, when Eli and I went to see Patrick and Leah a couple months ago, when we got to the airport, I started crying. Because I was like, Eli was like, how are you feeling? And I started crying, and I was like, hang on, I have to go to the bathroom for a second. And I was just like, I don't want to go back to work, man. Like, going back to work after vacation is shit from a butt.
That weekend was also dope.
That weekend was also lit as fuck. But, like, that feeling. And also, she went to Disney World. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's fine.
God damn. Not only is your vacation over, but you have no money and nothing to look forward to.
No hope, no anything.
Yeah, no goals, no dreams, no nothing. Her husband's like, the fuck? And she's like, shut up, I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, this is about me.
Piss me off. Middle of the pyramid is springtime. I love it because everything starts to come back to life, but the temperature fluctuates so much, and I'm like, come on, just stay warm.
It was 82 the other day. It was 53 when I woke up this morning.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
The top, I was in a fashion show a few weeks ago when I fucking slayed that runway, bitch, let me tell you. She didn't say bitch, I just added it in. I felt so confident, I was having so much fun. Not only was I the model, but lead designer, seamstress, visionary of the garment, and concept behind it. So I'm just so proud of me and my team for what we accomplished.
Hell yeah.
Your pictures in this, Cheyenne, you look bomb as hell. Like, I'm being so legitimately serious. She made this garment. Hang on, I'm done.
Oh.
Okay, that's all for now. Love you, bye. P.S. Here are some pics from the show. You do not need to read these on the pod, but to give you some context, it was an unconventional materials challenge. So our entire garment was constructed of unbacked garment, which is not what you're supposed to sew with, carpet backing, carpet yarn, and other rubber flooring, and our inspiration was Monet's water lilies. She made this outfit.
That's fucking dope.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's dope.
Cheyenne, if it doesn't work out with your husband, call me. You look awesome and are obviously very talented. Period as fuck, bitch. Okay. Love you, Bestie Cheyenne. Thank you so much for your email. Okay.
I hope she and her husband are listening to this in the car or something.
And I hope her husband's like, yeah, that makes sense. Her husband, if he's smart, will be like, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay, the next email is from Bestie Alyssa, and the subject line is please read before May 17th. This is an insanely long email, babe. It's crazy. And thank you so much for writing this. This is nuts. But the reason why she says read before May 17th is so that we can tell her good luck on her finals.
Oh.
Good luck on everyone's finals, everyone's like end of the school year thingies. Good luck to you. I know that shit fucking sucks. Her pyramid is the bottom is unsafe driving. She has a really long story in here about being careful in an Uber. women specifically, but like everyone really in general, like being aware of, are you getting in the right car? Is this person really with Uber?
Always check your license plate.
Always check the license plate, like all that kind of stuff. And she's okay, like thank fuck. But like that is very scary. Like tell someone when you're in an Uber, share your location with someone so they can track the Uber and you.
You can track your ride, yep.
Yeah,
yes.
Safety's no joke and people can be crazy. I know this is supposed to be a fun podcast, but I want and need to spread awareness around this. That's real as fuck.
Absolutely.
The last update is a good one. My dance showcase is tomorrow, and I'm so excited because this is my first show ever as a senior. Since I took a year off to be on the cheer team at my old college before I transferred, I felt like something was missing, and I didn't feel like myself, and I now feel like myself again since dance has re-entered my life. Dance has such a power that I don't think Dance Moms shows. And it gave me my best friends, and dancing makes me so happy. It's more than a passion. It's a lifestyle, period as fuck.
Dance Moms shows like a lot of the worst parts of
no, like, literally the bad.
It's a negative caricature of what dance is
and performance in general.
Yeah, art forms.
Yeah,
are
like show choirs like this, band can be like this. Like,
yeah, but most of them are just like it's so much better.
This is such the minority. Yeah. So her pyramid bottom is unsafe drivers, and then middle is the fact that the semester's almost done. I'm excited for summer, but I also do love college. And then the top is dancing. And it just says the song of the week is the Imperial March for Star Wars in honor of May the 4th, LOL. Catch you guys next time. Iconic bestie of the pod, or from bestie of the pod, the iconic and original Goodnight, Alyssa.
That's awesome.
Okay, this one.
The Imperial March is the song of the week.
This one is from Livy, and the subject line is, I fear I'm a Christie apologist. So I'm going to read this whole one out because it's crazy. Hello, Amanda and other. I've been meaning to email for a couple weeks. So sorry in advance for all my thoughts I need to let out. A couple weeks ago, they aggressively kept bringing up Abby's appearance on Dancing with the Stars, so I wanted to fill y'all in on how Abby's time as a guest judge on the show actually went. Mark, who's one of the pro dancers on Dancing with the Stars, basically caused a scene when she critiqued him, as well as many other pros annoyed with her comments or even annoyed with her praise, because they all hated her. She tried to use so many big dance words to sound more knowledgeable and honestly made her look fucking stupid. She spent the whole time flirting with almost every male there, and none of the pros took her seriously. She came off looking so bad, and I just thought it was so funny how she loved to keep bringing it up as if it was some big success or something that she was on the show when she was a fucking joke. Anyway, as a Christie apologist, I had to write in after that man who shows up every week was complaining about my girl. Well, I do agree she is getting harder and harder to watch each week. She's not talking about me. She's talking about Christie before you even say it.
I wasn't going to.
Y'all have to understand how miserable she was and how she had been desperately trying to get out of her contract since season 3 ended, if not before that already.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Like it is clear that she's miserable.
I can be empathetic and annoyed.
It is clear that, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
it's okay.
Like, I am not saying like, oh, Chrissy just kind of decided to do all of this. Understand, like, just existing on the show is an incredibly stressful thing. Also, bestie Kelly is gone.
Yeah.
Also, Chloe continues to be bullied, and now she doesn't have that outlet. Like, there are so many reasons why Christy is like acting the way she is,
and she's getting on my nerves.
It's really
both.
annoying. Yeah.
Also, what's a car tag? Y'all kept saying that in your most recent episode, and as someone from New York, I've never heard of that before.
Your license plate.
Is that the car registration? Is that the inspection? I'm so confused.
Your license plate.
But also, your license plate is one thing, but you have a little sticker in the top right corner that proves that you paid what's called the wheel tax, which like allows you to have a car. It's the tax you're supposed to be on having a car.
It's a yearly thing. You have to get your
Rachel,
registration
when we were
updated.
talking about Rachel getting pulled over, she had not paid that tax and the sticker was out of date. So she had the license plate, the metal piece, but that sticker was out of, because it has the date that you're supposed, like it's valid until this date.
Yeah.
And hers was 2 years old. So that's what the car tag is. Sorry this is so long. I'll skip on to the pyramid and song, but I do want to add one more thing really quickly. I was watching the pod on my living room TV when my partner came home. He looked at the screen and goes, is he gay? Are they dating? What's this dynamic? And I laughed so much, and I told him neither. I thought Amanda might have some funny remarks about someone thinking she's dating Eli, so I had to share. My funny remark about someone thinking that me and Eli are dating is he fucking wishes. Much love, as always. Good night, Alyssa. She also says good night, Alyssa. Love,
awesome.
Libby. Okay. And then the last one.
Did she have her pyramid?
No, she didn't. That's so weird.
She said, before I get into my pyramid, I guess she just hit send or something before sending it. I thought she said.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is so. Oh, so I'll skip on the pyramid and song.
Oh,
I think I said on two. I think I put that in there.
I got you.
And then the last one is from King of the literal Coke complex, King Tony.
God, this is a fucking all-star lineup of emails.
That's all of our heavy hitters.
Holy cow.
An update for the girlies. No BTS spoilers about Dance Moms this week.
Thank you.
Coming at y'all live from Riverwood of Line 3. This is the local dances share with some updates for the girlies and the audience. So for those of y'all who don't know, or those of y'all that either don't know or don't remember, I work at the Coke lab in production and I applied for Coke in production and I applied for a job in the lab. The update being that sadly I did not get chosen to fill the role for Line 3's lab tech, but I will fortunately remain the lead for the line and am first option for the next time an open spot in the lab comes up.
Nice.
Tony, I feel that pain. People who are like, everyone's hiring, don't know what the hell they're talking about.
No, they're not.
Job searching is like...
A lot of jobs are lies.
The fucking worst. So.
Also, I appreciate... Golly, my voice is weird. I appreciate...
I wish you only had some, water or something
well, I keep
that
drinking
would,
water
keep
and it's not doing
making
anything.
That, oh, okay. Never mind.
You haven't seen me lean forward?
No. I have some cough drops if you want those.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
But I appreciate the optimistic outlook. Like, it sucks to not get a job, but you already still have a job that you're passionate about and everything. You're the proud leader of Line 3 for the Coke employees and everything. Like, that's dope. And keep your head up, but also keep looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
So,
his song of the week is a song called "Hold Them Down" from the Ithaca Saga. Trigger warning for people who might be sensitive to essay and murder, because it's Greek mythology, so fucking obviously it's going to have a lot of that going on. I could see the song getting used for a group routine done by the select ensemble team because they can connect to the storyline of the song, where the suitors are planning to overthrow Penelope and the Telemachus, maybe, and the select ensemble team trying to overthrow the junior elite team. But other than that, I got nothing else. Anyway, I'll tell you what. Good night, Alyssa, and what's up to Iggy the Piggy. Love, King Tony, King of the Coke employees, bestie of the pod, Dance's share of Line 3, Line 3's Lord and Savior, the behind-the-scenes correspondent, the main girlie of Idaho, and everyone's favorite Mexican. Thank you to all of the people who wrote us emails. Love you big time. Are you ready to get into the content of this episode?
You bet your bottom dollar I am.
Okay, do I need to restart the camera?
Probably.
No. You don't know anything. Okay. You know nothing about
everything. I took
a
shot and I just totally whiffed.
Yeah.
It happens. Something about Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott.
Blah, blah, blah. We're talking about Season 4, Episode 26, No More Crybabies, Bad News for Amanda. Previously on... We get we're on the road to nationals. Who knows who's going to be on the team? And then Abby's chopping up the children and making them fight each other and whatever. And just a straight up montage of all the new girls that she's yelled at, basically, at the end of this Previously On. It's fucking crazy.
I actually watched the Previously On and it made me laugh. I was like, Jesus, Abby, settle down.
Insane. Also, are you a sparkling water girl or no?
No. If I drink something sugar-free and bubbly, I literally just get sugar-free or Sprite Zero.
It's so good. I'm drinking a LaCroix today, team.
LaCroix.
The black raspberry slay. I love her. I have an 80-pack in the fridge right now. It's so good. Okay. We're in Pittsburgh. We're in Pennsylvania, duh. Sarah and Christy walk in, and I'm already mad.
Oh, I'm
already pissed.
Dude, I felt every muscle in my body tense up. My jaw locked.
My butthole clenched. I'm really not excited.
I don't have any hair on my back, but it stood on end.
I'm bummed. Yeah. Abby asks why they're there.
She's like, why are you here?
They're not in the mirror room. They're at their
desk.
Yeah. And they walk past, and she's like, what are you doing here? And Christy's like, because Sarah has a class,
Yeah,
Abby.
Because we have class, Abby.
And she goes, oh, yeah, it's the whatever class. Okay, great.
And then even Christy's just like, what the fuck, man? We've paid to be here for years.
Yeah.
We're continuing to do this class.
And then Gia is like, hey, girl, to Abby after Christy and Sarah have gone in. And she's like, Sarah's doing really well. She's excelling. She says an insane sentence.
I was about to bring that up.
You say it. I don't want to say it.
It's so gross. She says, so she's saying...
Sorry, it's so...
I need context.
What the fuck are we doing, dog?
So,
it's crazy.
She's talking about how she looks good in her
private lessons.
In her individual classes, her private lessons. And Gia says the sentence, quote...
Unironically.
Sarah looks so good in her privates, end quote. What the fuck are we doing here?
Hey, what?
Do you not hear with the words that you say?
Hey, really quick, what? What? Hey, what?
It is clear what she means, but it's also clear that sounds crazy.
Self-awareness on fucking zero, dude. It's so... I know that's not what you meant, but it sounds fucking crazy.
Gia truly is a student of Abby Lee Miller, just like saying words and not hearing them at all.
So true. Let's see.
I
Abby
don't know what Gia's like nowadays.
She's still best friends with Abby.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abby mentions that she's like, I can't fucking stand that mom, which like same.
Correct.
And Gia's like, I know, I get it, but Sarah is doing really well. And so Abby and her talking head's like, well, I might have to use her for nationals because I want to win in every age category. Sarah's the youngest, so like I might as well, or I might have to tolerate Christy for the sake of using Sarah for nationals.
We actually find out at the end that doesn't matter.
Do we?
Because I'm
turning off that lamp so that the video looks better. Sorry.
Okay. But at like almost the very last thing that Abby says in this episode is that the category for nationals, like the age range, is 9 to 11. Oh,
that's right.
So she's like, well, Sarah wasn't going to dance anyway. I'm just going to have Maddie do it. So then what is all this?
A bunch of bullshit.
What is it, Abby?
A bunch of bullshit is what it is.
I hate this show.
Me too. Well, I don't know why we're here. That's why the beginning takes so long. It's because we actually fucking hate this show. We're not being forced to talk about.
It is my pure rage that keeps me going. I want to see Abby's downfall, and I want Melissa to get to be okay, but also to get a little bit hit by a car.
Yeah. Not to die, but to be a little like
inconvenienced. Her outfit gets ruined, and she has a bruise.
Yeah, for sure. We're in the mirror room now, and Abby says, "Congrats are in order for some of you, bitch." And then she congratulates the girls who are a part of the winning team. So it's just the OG team here with us this week, but also Tia and Sarah. For those of you following along.
It's so...
It's one team, but not only original members.
Yeah. Every week, we don't know what's going to happen next. Abby really is just flying by the seat of her pants, start to finish.
Right.
It's why we don't have, like, multiple weeks of rehearsals leading up to a competition. She just, like, has an idea. She's like, we're going to make a dance happen in 2 days, then we're going to compete.
Because
she can't think long term. She can't do this long term thing.
Because she's ego driven, and your ego's not interested in the long term. Your ego's interested in instant gratification. I want this now.
Yes.
Yeah. And then she congratulates Maddie because she's the overall high score of last week's sleigh. Abby then calls in Christy and Sarah. She's like, Christy, get your ass in here. And then she does this back and forth thing with Christy where because it looks like Christy's like legitimately shook that she's been called in there. And she comes in and she's like, hi. And Abby goes, don't speak. Which like.
And then,
T. And then Christy's like, oh, hey, everyone. And Abby's like, hey, shut up.
Yeah. What did I just say?
I
said not to talk.
And she says, don't talk. And then Christy goes, okay. And she goes, that's the last thing I want to hear you say.
Yeah.
Hey, Abby. At first I was on your team. And now I'm like, okay, you're kind of going a little hard.
Yeah. Christy is like 100% behaving. She's like, just want to say
Christy,
hi.
spoiler alert, the least volatile mom this whole episode.
Shockingly.
She was just like, yeah. And she says in her talking at this point, she's like, I'll keep my mouth shut if it means Sarah's on the team. I don't care.
And at that point, I was thinking, no chance.
Yeah. And come to find out, that actually is how it goes down. But
yeah,
based on her track record, it's not looking promising.
So unpredictable. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Yeah. Well, and another like pillar of the industry has been altered. And now instead of a pyramid, it's a totem pole this week. And she says, in honor of our group dance. And I said, oh, racism, awesome. Sick.
Oh, we're doing
Amanda, racism again.
I swear to God. I swear. As soon as she said in honor of this week's number, I was like, a totem pole, we're doing a Native American thing. Nia's going to be the lead.
Yeah.
I fucking
spoiler alert, that's
called
what happens.
it.
Yeah.
I called it. I was like, we're doing the thing. And then never mind. Keep going. We'll get to it later.
Okay. Bottom of the totem pole, Nia. Oh, wait. Oh, hang on. I have to restart the camera.
You would not believe your eyes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, timer. Thank you for reminding me after the camera had already gone off.
4 minutes later?
No, it was like a minute, smartass. Okay.
8. No, it was like 8. After you said, do I need to restart the camera? And I was like, yes. And you're like, no. 8 minutes. So I was close.
Rude of you to be clocking my flaws. As a self-proclaimed feminist, rude of you to have evidentiary support that I made a mistake. Rude. Okay, anyway, Nia's at the bottom, and Abby's like, you need to become one with your characters. Okay, whatever, who cares? Next up on the totem pole is Mackenzie. And Abby says that she pulls focus because her timing is off, which is fair.
Actual feedback.
And then the next one up is Kendall. She says she needs to work on her turnouts. And then I said, wait, why is this feedback actually kind of good?
Yeah, the first 3, she like actually did the thing. Yeah. Also, did Kendall say a word this entire? I don't think she did
either. And Jill, we get like a couple of moments of her, but Kendall and Chloe, like children-wise, completely gone this week.
Yes.
Like we hear not a peep from them.
I don't think we even heard Kendall's name after this moment.
I don't think so.
Wild.
Next up on the totem pole is Tia, the small one of the small ones. And it's because she was a part of the winning team last week, but you also weren't the best on the team, so she's like kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Whatever. Next up is Chloe on the winning team. Did really well in her like featured. Special like featured moment. And then the top of the totem pole was Maddie because she had the highest scoring solo of the week.
Even though she was on the losing group.
That's a great point. Great fucking point, unfortunately. Abby in her talking head says that this week is going to determine who's going to go to nationals.
Totally.
Bitch.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
We're too
like,
jaded.
Girl, I need you to be so fucking for real, really quick, because it was the same thing with the like, oh, this is going to determine who's on my 2 team. What?
This guy was carrying a tremendous box, and it kind of looked like a leg was
hanging out of it. What do you know about a tremendous box?
Hey!
And it looked like a leg was hanging out of it.
It looked like a leg was hanging out.
Wait. Is there a killer on my street?
Yeah, now you're interested.
Last night I got so scared by my book, I had to sleep with my lamp on. I did. I got really nervous because it was about a murder. And I was like, wait. And also Rachel wasn't here, and so I had to sleep with my lamp on.
Liza would have protected you.
No, she would not have. If a man was in here to chop up my body, Liza would hide under the bed and listen to me die.
Yep.
Like, she would not give a fuck. Okay, anyway. Mackenzie. I'm like really mad at myself that I didn't latch onto the fact that you said it looked like there was a leg hanging out of it, and I went for a vag joke. Like, that's crazy.
I'm always here for a vag joke.
I know you are, but like, what the hell, Amanda? We need to look inward later, girl. Okay. Mackenzie solo. It's
inward
a blues.
Into your vag.
I am gonna punch you. Shut up. Okay. Mackenzie solo. It's called Out of My Mind. It's a blues number, Slay.
Blues.
Sarah is doing a lyrical number that's called On My Own, and she says it's a shame that her mother keeps her from being independent. Crazy because she's 9. So, like, what do you mean independent? But whatever. Like, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
pop off queen? Question mark? I don't know.
You're a grown woman. You should be off on your own.
You're 9. What the? Okay. Tia's also getting a solo. It's musical theater. Her number is called No Crybabies. And Abby's, like, teaming up the littles against one another to determine who amongst the littles will be having a solo at nationals.
Yeah, it's like a 9-year-old Hunger Games.
But the tea is that Sarah is going to be in a different group from Mackenzie and Tia. So it's Mackenzie v. Tia, and then Sarah v. Abby, basically.
Well, because 2 of them are 10, and...
right, and the cutoff is 9.
Sarah is 9.
Right. Oh, yeah, because Maddie's 11. Yeah. And then Abby's like, this week determines who's going to go to nationals. No, it fucking doesn't. She says the group number is an ethnic piece, and I hit pause, and I went both hands in my face, or my face and both my hands. I went no, in here by myself. It's like, you have to be shitting me. This week's number is I can't even say it again. That's like, it like gives me like the acid burp to say that phrase. Like, that's so gross.
Do you want to know the craziest part about this is that she announced there was an ethnic dance, and Abby puts on like a Native American headpiece.
She puts on something she made at Michael's craft store.
That's not the crazy part. The crazy part is that Holly is beaming.
Oh, yeah, because she's knows.
Thrilled.
She knows about the tokenization of her child.
She's like, my daughter's about to benefit from tokenization. I'm going to make this work for me.
Yeah, my daughter's going to benefit from this. Which, like, slay, I guess, whatever. Whatever. If they want it to work to their advantage and they see it as a good thing, love that for them. Who am I to tell them to think differently? Yeah. Whatever. The group number is called Tribal Council. And Melissa goes, oh, I love that. Hey, Melissa.
Shut up, Melissa.
Shut up, maybe. And she gives Nia the lead role as, like, the leader of the tribe. She puts this fuck-ass feathered headpiece on Nia. Nia's very excited because she's getting a lead role, like, period, I guess.
All right, the headpiece was, like, a little cool.
I mean,
it's not like
it's like
authentic.
It's like Halloween Town costume hour.
Yeah, it was okay.
And then Sarah and Tia are not going to be in the group, the littles, because they're going to concentrate on their solos. But Mackenzie will be, which I think is kind of fucked, but whatever. Tia's mom, Tammy.
That does kind of stack the odds again. Like, were this a level playing field? It isn't. But were this a level playing field? That stacks the odds against Mackenzie. Now she has to learn 2 dances.
Right. Yeah. Tia's mom, Tammy, says that Ava from last week, Jeanette the Baddie's daughter, is going to be competing against Mackenzie and Tia.
Ava, who's 9 feet tall.
Right, because they have the categories chopped up so it's 10, 11, 12-year-olds, and Ava's 12, and they're 10.
Yeah.
The moms go upstairs, and Abby tells Maddie, she's like, do you have a costume? A solo costume package just in case. That's going to come back later.
Yeah, Tammy and her talking head about Ava competing against them. She says, friends don't do that to other friends. What, enter dance competitions for their daughter?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
what that's about. I don't really understand that point of view. Abby, what?
Sorry, Holly in her talking head also said it's selfish of Jeanette to put her needs over Tia's first solo. I found that so... Like, it seems like another conversation might have happened that, like, Jeanette's doing this to get back on the team, but that's never said at all, and I don't think that makes a lot of sense.
It's only said right at the very end.
Yeah, but not at this point.
It's so confusing. Yeah, at this point, it's very confusing, and then also, like, Jeanette, the baddie, doesn't know that the other children are up for career-defining solos this week, allegedly.
Right.
So how would she know how high the stakes were?
They're just making shit up.
She's just putting her daughter in a competition from her studio.
You're telling me there was a floating cow? Huh? You were talking about how high the stakes were.
What?
Because this...
No, yeah, but what?
I saw you a little bit like that joke.
Okay, sure. I guess. Whatever, girl. Okay. Yeah, Abby tells Maddie pack a costume, whatever. The moms upstairs are like talking about the ages and how shitty it is that like, well, now that the threat of Ava has like been made apparent, now Abby's gonna be focusing on winning and not the talent of the actual girls.
Yeah.
And Jill in her talking head says that Jeanette is just doing this to get her kid to dance in front of Abby again. And Tammy tells the other moms that she tried to talk Jeanette out of it. Bitch, why? She doesn't know dick about what your company's doing. Why would she care? That's ridiculous. We get a group rehearsal, and Abby tells us that this is what she says, a Native American inspired piece. And it's all because she went to see Cher in Vegas.
Native American.
And watched Cher's Vegas residency and thought to herself, I could do that.
Native American.
That's insane. An insane thought process.
Did you hear my joke?
I did. It's not a joke because jokes are typically funny. So I heard you say some bullshit, but I don't know about your joke necessarily. I gotta give a couple of jokes, but anyway. And then throughout the whole like group rehearsal, she's like, think about Cher. Think about this Vegas. Hey, all of them are under the age of 13.
Yeah.
None of them know what you're talking about culturally.
Yeah. She
the
does
fuck?
that. She
think
does
about
that
Cher.
all the
They
time.
don't know who that is probably. They're like under the age of 13.
There are just so many examples of the fact that Abby is a legitimately bad teacher, and this is one of them.
Girl,
she's giving them like a goal to aim for, and they have no fucking clue what the goal is.
They're like, what are you talking about?
It's like, like this. No,
like
we
Cher.
don't.
And they're like, who?
No, we don't at all. If you want to do that, take 5 minutes and show them the performance.
Yeah, give them some sort of reference, except other than just expecting them to know who Cher is.
Yeah.
Help the child. Help the dog.
Oh, Iggy.
Iggy, get up on the couch. There's the balls on the... There we go. Boing.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Holly notes that she's like kind of nervous because it's about nationals. They're all nervous. Everything's about nationals. Ig. What a nightmare. Just run. Goodbye, Rachel.
Or scamper if you need to.
Yeah. Bye, Kira.
Later.
Abby's yelling at all the children. She's comparing them to Maddie. Business as usual. Abby, her talking head, is like, these girls need to get it together, and they look like shit, and whatever.
Yeah.
And then we get a commercial. When we come back, we're 2 days out from the competition, and Abby and her talking head says that it's going to be a showdown for the little ones.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. You can really, honestly, any sort of, like, commentary that I have about Abby, the end of the sentence could be which is crazy. Like, it's all crazy, all of it. That's the real drinking game, is anytime I say which is insane or which is crazy, take a shot, and you'll have to have your stomach pumped by the end of one episode. Abby and her talking, it says that it's rotten for Ava and Jeanette the baddie to be doing what they're doing.
I just don't...
Again, how are they supposed to know that they're making a mistake? They don't know what y'all are doing. So that doesn't make any sense.
I think the issue is, like, how dare she go to the same competition we're at?
Girl,
again,
so confusing.
Yeah, like,
Ridiculous.
I don't know, whatever.
Sarah, her rehearsal starts first, and Abby says she needs to be more independent, and she brings up that she wouldn't go to one of those, like, not the last competition, but I think the week before, she wouldn't go without her mom. But again, it's like, she's done this before, especially with Brooke and Paige, and I think with Chloe too, where she's like, you need to be more independent, and she blames for something that their mom did. Yeah. It wasn't that Sarah wouldn't go, it's that Christy wouldn't let her go.
Yeah.
Christy was like, you 9-year-old child cannot do this. What, you want her 9-year-old to say, fuck you, mom, I'm going anyway?
Yeah,
like,
Abby would love that.
She would love that. She would love if all these children were hers. Or if she were the children.
Right.
Especially Maddie. Mackenzie, we see her rehearsal next, and Abby's talking about how, you know, her number and her talking head and how it's like a lot more difficult than some of the other routines that she's been given her, which is true because this one actually has, you know, skill and talent required instead of just like dicking around.
Christy at one point says Abby threw everything into the dance but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, the other moms are noting that it's packed. Like there's a bunch of shit going on.
One thing that I thought was funny from Sarah's solo is that at one point Abby yells, "Come on, act!"
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean act? Like, that's what you almost couldn't give more vague advice.
My years as a theater educator would like some words with you, Abby Lee Miller. You can't tell kids to act. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, come on, act.
Like, what? That's like yelling at a basketball player to sport.
Hey, basketball.
Yeah, hey, sport. Okay, sick. What the fuck do you mean? Ridiculous. Tia is next with the crybaby routine, and Jill asks Tammy if she likes the routine, and Tammy's like, yeah, I do, but then Christy's like, no, but do you think that it has enough going on in it to be a legitimate competition with what Ava's probably going to be doing?
And Tammy says,
no,
not but
really.
Frankly, we take what we're given, and you know she's going to rock it.
And Holly goes, that is the correct
exactly
stance. Yeah.
What fucking, who didn't do that last week? Was it Lori?
Christy. Also Christy.
No, well, Christy was telling someone. Who was she fucking with?
I don't know.
Was it Jeanette?
Oh, it was Jeanette the baddie. Yeah.
2
because
weeks
Ava had a
ago,
solo with the umbrella.
Aren't you mad about blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, don't you think this is going to be shit?
And Tammy watched that, like a smart woman, watched that happen and is like, no, we're just happy with what we can get.
And Holly, weirdly, is like, well, you shouldn't be. Holly, very strange, is like, well, it's going to be bad, so you shouldn't be happy.
Yeah, it's like Holly.
Holly, what the hell?
Holly now realizes what happens, though, and she's like, oh, we can get rid of these women.
Yeah, Holly's, I think Holly is entering her villain era slightly.
Oh, I don't want her to.
I know, I don't want her to either, but I fear it's upon us.
Yeah. Either you die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's so fucking true.
I made that quote up.
Oh, my God.
That was me. Just now.
Iggy, can you even stomach it? No, she can't. She's so upset. She's like, actually, I can stomach anything. She's like, what do you have? I'll eat literally anything. Has eaten 2 full corn cobs, by the way. And Rachel never saw them. So in theory, those corn cobs are still in there. And that was like 5 years ago. So if you're only an audio listener or audio participant, you should become a watcher as well.
Oh, she's gonna fall.
Look at this dog. You need to. If you are listening on Apple Music, you need to hit up that YouTube channel, girl, because
oh God, she can barely.
The little kills me every time. Okay, anyway, group rehearsal. Abby at one point yells, "I want to see Cher." Same. Abby tells Nia she needs to be like Maddie. She says it so much this episode, just straight up, do it like Maddie. And that she doesn't have that she's like, Maddie doesn't have anything that you don't have, which is almost true. She has a face.
She has 8 more years of real intense training,
right,
and attention
and she has
and love and care.
Your preference.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything's equal.
That's really the thing.
And then but then Abby admits that she doesn't know how to fix the problem. And you know why you don't know how to fix the problem, Abby? Because you're a bad teacher.
Abby's a legitimately bad teacher.
Because you are a bad educator. Your score would be like 0 to 1, bitch. You daydream about that 5 and 4, and you will never be that girl. You just won't. She makes Maddie do part of like Nia's like solo or like movement to prove that she can do it better, which is fucking corny.
That is. Before that, she tells Nia though, like, if you learn to perform more, people will forgive like a shoulder out of place or being a little early or whatever. Which, like, fair. I think
guess
that is actual decent feedback. But the comparing to Maddie is gross. And then after Maddie does the thing. Like, she's like, hey, Maddie, you do this. Show Nia what you're supposed to do. Holly then says, like, oh, Abby's giving Maddie props for doing the same face she does in all her other lyrical
she
solos.
Says she does the Maddie face.
Yeah, she's not actually, it's just she knows how to make a face. She doesn't actually perform for the thing she's doing necessarily.
Right. And Holly's like, it also sucks that the only way that my daughter can be, like, the only way that anyone's getting any feedback is at the expense of someone else. It's not enough for my daughter to be coached, but my daughter has to be coached while your daughter is elevated above her, so she's put down while someone else is elevating Maddie, and that sucks for Nia. It sucks for everybody. And Holly says that Abby gave Maddie props for doing her typical Maddie face, and Abby goes upstairs and starts yelling at Holly about how she doesn't know what to do, basically, and how somehow this is Holly's fault. And Holly is like, no, this is your fault. You're a bad teacher. Like, you need to encourage her in different ways. Because here's the thing, too, is Abby, a moron, is taking up how to be a teacher with doctorate in education, Holly.
Yeah.
Holly's like, don't talk to me about how you don't know how to teach my kid.
Yeah.
You are a bad teacher, and I have the authority to determine who's a bad teacher. I have a doctorate in education, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
After Holly made her comment earlier, Melissa in her talking head says, the other moms pounce on me when Abby compares girls to Maddie. I don't do that. I don't ask her to do that. I would never do that. Totally, Melissa.
Ever the victim.
Yeah. Sorry, your life is really hard because your child is the gold standard and Abby wants to be her.
God, dude.
Then when Abby goes up to talk to Holly, Holly says, you keep telling Nia she isn't giving enough face when she's like kind of off and on. It's not no.
Right.
It's only sometimes.
I have a story to tell you in just a second.
Giving face.
Sort of.
You tell Nia don't when she's doing it wrong, and I tell her do when she's doing it right. And that's the different thing is like she needs proper encouragement.
Right. Tell her what to do, not what to not do.
Yeah, exactly.
What does she do instead?
Yeah. Oh, don't do that.
Well, then what do I do?
That's wrong. You're doing it wrong. Okay, then tell and show me what right is.
Period education. Last night I was at my sister's house, my sister and brother-in-law's house, and my brother-in-law is 30. How old is Pratik?
I think
37. And so every once in a while, like a little like trend or something will pop up and he like doesn't get it. And he works in community organizing. He works for the Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition in Tennessee.
Turk.
He works for Turk. Shouts out to Turk. And
they're fighting hard right now.
True. That man is, but he works with a lot of young people. He's now working with a lot of Gen Z kids who are into community organizing. And so sometimes they say things that he doesn't understand. And he'll ask me, and I'm like, oh, it's this. And last night when I was at their house, he was like, Amanda, what's a face card? And I was like, can you use it? Because I knew what he meant, but I was like, can you use it in a sentence? And he was like, if someone says that the face card balance is full, what is that? What's a face card? And I was like, and my sister chimed in and she said it was popularized by Beyonce on her Renaissance album saying the face card never declines. My God, on her song Heated. And he was like, what? And I was like, well, think about it like your Amex card or your debit card. Like you have your face card. And if you're beautiful, your face card doesn't decline.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, got it. So like having a full balance on the face card is like a good thing. I was like, yes, if your face card declines, that's bad. And he's like, okay, got it. And my sister was like, why are you asking this? Like, what's the context of you hearing the phrase face card? He said that one of his Gen Z organizers commented on a group photo of the Turk volunteer staff that said, our democracy can't be bought, but if it could, the face card would never decline. He was like, I just like really didn't understand what the second part of that sentence means. And I was like, well, you know, like they're trying to privatize a lot of American government. So the idea is that democracy can't be bought, right? But if it could, the face card balance would be full. And he was like, oh, it was like a full like 10-minute conversation. Oh, okay. Got it. It was very
full on millennial learning something.
Yeah, it was really sweet. And anytime he asked me those questions, like very genuinely, I love to talk about them because it also like that's an insane phrase. So to break it down and explain it is just fucking awesome.
She's just munching away.
He's so cute. Okay,
Where we left off, commercial.
Okay, we come back and we get on the bus to go to the competition in Michigan. The competition Michigan or something? I don't know. I don't know.
The competition again.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds a lot better.
Sometimes you have to be simpler up here.
That's
and then the
true.
joke comes out simpler.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sarah and Christy are talking about where she's going to sit and whether she's going to be sitting in the back of the bus with all the children or up at the front with her mom because all the moms were sitting at the front.
Yeah, all the cool kids sit in the back. That's the rule.
That's where I got my first kiss was in the back of the band bus. Just throwing that out there.
There was one time. I shouldn't say this story on the podcast. Never mind. Go ahead. It wasn't me.
The way that my stomach just dropped is like...
It wasn't me.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. Christy's talking about how she's 9, and she's like, she's a 9-year-old little girl who's afraid to leave my side. Blah, blah, blah.
Whose fault is that, though?
Yeah, exactly. And also, they're super Christian. You are really, really not doing that kid any favors. If you're going to grow up fundamentalist Christian like I did, at least let your child do cool shit so that when they get older, they're not a freak all the time.
Who is the worst mom, Melissa or Christy?
I think Christy, personally, because this is an incredibly biased opinion. I'm going to recognize that on the outs. I do think that there's a specific type of something, like extra sauce on your trauma when it is religious informed. That hurts really deeply. Like I have deconstructed a lot more than like ever, obviously, because it's like every year I deconstruct more and more, but like you knew me when I first graduated from college and I had crisis of faith a lot. Like God's gonna kill me if I do A, B, and C things. Like, and I was a grown adult. And now it's different, and now I get to partake in them, do whatever I want, and when the religious weirdness pops up, I'm better at picking it apart and better at talking myself out of it. But I'm almost 29, and I'm just now at that point. That I have 20 years on that kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's a little extra terrible when you're talking about, when you bring in Sky Daddy into it. That's extra bad. Melissa's just selfish. Just is what it is. Where's the ball?
She just wants to keep licking me.
Oh, freak. Okay.
She literally wanted to lick my hand so badly, she started like whimpering at me.
No, she's looking for her ball.
Her ball is literally right here. She doesn't want it. She wants to lick my hand.
Iggy is on her freak shit today.
I'm not kidding. She wants to lick my hand.
She wants to bite you.
Or attack me, yeah. She wants to rest.
Relatable. Sweet baby.
No.
Just wants to like all the time. Okay, Sarah starts crying, and then all the moms are like trying to help her like settle down, and then Abby yells at her to stop crying.
Yeah, great.
We get to the competition, and we're in the green room, and the moms are like, oh, nervous about the solos, like chattering back and forth about like, ooh, everything's so scary right now. Yeah. And then Christy says that like, she says to the moms, Sarah is really unsure of what emotion she's supposed to be conveying in her dance. She's like, it's not that she can't do it. She just doesn't know what she's supposed to do, which goes back to Holly's point about, like, it's not enough to tell your students to not do something. You have to tell them what to do instead.
Yeah, and again, an example of Abby not being a good teacher. If
Correct.
Your kid has no idea what a dance is about,
well, right.
What are you doing? What have you been doing?
Right, yeah. Melissa says that she's worried about Ava and that she doesn't expect the ALDC littles to beat Ava. She's like, so I'm worried about Ava. Sorry. She's like, I just don't think that y'all are going to beat Ava.
Yeah, not worried about her own daughter.
Yeah, no.
Worried about the success of Bestie Abby's dance company.
Yeah, true. And someone makes a comment about Jeanette being a stalker. And Tammy, I can't tell if she's a snake or a girl's girl. I'm a little conflicted. Because she says that she and Jeanette made a pact that if they heard the other's teams talking shit, that they would tell the other person. So
I think that's good. That's her friend first, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's fair, yeah. So she goes and talks to Jeanette and is like, hey, the other moms are talking shit.
Yeah.
And Jeanette's like, yeah, I don't care.
I think that's a girl's girl. Because I think her loyalty has been with Jeanette the whole time. Mm-hmm. I think.
Wait, sorry, one more time?
Her loyalty has been with Jeanette the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's sticking with it. Yeah, that's great. She made a promise and she's keeping it. Yeah. I like that.
The girls are in the green room getting ready, and they have some dog shit from a racist butt, costumes and makeup for their quote-unquote Native American number. Fucking ridiculous. The girls are going to go out to perform. Holly, in her talking head, says she's nervous. What?
I have a thought, which is rare.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I haven't thought about this. So, like, the girls come out. Abby tells them they look pretty strong, powerful, and I wrote right after that, appropriative. But then I got to thinking.
Well,
I not to be the straight white guy playing the devil's advocate. I am not. But I started thinking about like what exactly would make something like offensive. Sure. And I'm not trying to like hijack the entire rest of the episode or whatever. But I did say like it may be a little appropriative, but in no way is it mocking or making fun, which I think is often the reason that appropriative is bad. It's either like for the sake of mocking misinformation or misinformation.
Right, or disinformation.
And I don't think that this is either of those. It's like when I was in high school and college, and like for those marching band nerds out there, we would get like in the lot, as they say, like the parking lot before the performance. We'd go out there, we'd do our like drum warm-ups and whatever, maybe play a cadence to like get our hands moving. And there's like some little kid who's like flailing toy drumsticks around trying to like be like us or whatever. Now, no, the child isn't like educated in what drumming is. They literally just think that looks cool. I want to also do that.
Sure.
And so like one could argue, now Abby is a racist. That is clear and well documented.
True.
But one could argue that something like this is an attempt to like maybe celebrate is a strong word, but I think at least like acknowledge like, hey, this thing is like super cool to look at. And even if I don't know everything there is to know about it, like I still want to like, hey, this looks like a fun thing that we could also do. Taking out, and now of course, that eliminates any like cultural significance that might be included in those dances or like what is actually meant traditionally by these dances. But I think it really is a simple, like I don't think Abby's being malicious, at least in this case. Making Nia the lead is I think a little bit not okay, but like the doing of this dance, it is not meant to mock. It is not meant to misinform. It's just like, hey, I saw something that looked a little bit like this one time. I thought it was cool. I think the girls would have fun doing it. And so if you look at it through that lens, and I'm not saying that's what Abby definitely is doing or whatever, but like, I think appropriation, we sometimes get a little too into like, oh my gosh, is this appropriative? Rather than just like, hey, I think that's cool. And it looks like fun.
There's a conversation around like how this affects Black culture specifically that I think is really interesting. That's not. Oh fuck! I forgot to start a timer. It's not like a nuance. It's not my opinion. It is nuanced. It's not mine. I heard D'Angelo Wallace on YouTube talk about this one time when he was covering Shane Dawson, and he was talking about how there's a difference between blackface and a minstrelsy. And if you're doing
minstrel,
right? So if you're doing blackface, you're taking something that historically belongs to Black culture and saying, I'm going to do that, which is wrong. If you're doing minstrelsy, you're taking something from Black culture and saying, or from white culture that's aimed to make fun of Black people. Both are wrong, but one of them is worse than the other bad thing.
Okay.
That if a woman who like wildly misinformed appropriates Black fashion and makes it hers is different from someone getting on the internet and like acting Black and making fun of Black people. Right. And I think that same nuance is applying here. That like they're not making fun of Indigenous people, but they're borrowing and stealing from Indigenous culture and making it theirs. And both are bad and both are wrong. But it could be that they were like making a mockery of indigenous culture. And at least they're not doing that. They're still doing a bad thing. But it's just it might be. I mean, Abby's an idiot and she's also like evil, but it might just be that it's misinformed, not malicious.
Yeah,
if it was any other person, I might give them the benefit of that doubt and be like, hey, big fat whitey, you need to figure it out. You know what I mean? But like, if you are doing it maliciously, I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, I just don't.
You should not do it either way.
Again, like, I fully recognize I am not in the place to make this call.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and so like, on the fucking rare occasion that like Jewish culture gets mocked or whatever, sure. I laugh every time. Or like, even if it's mocked. But if churches have Passover Seders all the time, that's not appropriative. I
mean, I think it is.
I don't think it is.
But I mean, it's all about how that audience is interpreting it. It's not my business to say what.
I'm the audience.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I'm disagreeing, but my opinion doesn't matter in that case.
Yeah, I get. But you can still have an opinion if you're like, I don't know that that's okay, and I'm like, I think it is. Like, okay, that doesn't diminish your ability to feel how you feel.
I don't know.
I just want it to be done like if you want to go have a Passover Seder and be like, this is mostly how a lot of Jews celebrate Passover. Fucking cool.
Yeah, the Christian stuff is also can be extra malicious because people will argue, well, Jesus was a Jew, right? Jesus was a Jewish person, which is the truth. But then people will say, no, he wasn't. He was a Christian because like he is Christ.
Well, that's a lie.
So then they pull the Jewishness out of Jesus, which is like, that's a lie.
Yes.
He wasn't a Christian. He was a Jew. Like, what do you mean? So like the Christian stuff, they just want to be allowed to be like, ooh, this is what people in the biblical times did. Like, isn't this fun? And it's like, well, but this is like, there's a larger cultural and religious context. That's
disinformation though.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If it's just like, hey, this is cool, we also want to do that. There's no harm in that. Is what I'm saying.
I have seen a lot of Christians who have wanted to like participate in what still stays Jewish tradition for the sake of education, but taking it and making it Christian, that's
disinformation.
Right. That's the bad thing.
Right. That's what I don't want. But you're like, this is what they do, and we're gonna do that too.
There's a rabbi who in Nashville who will go and give like traditional like seders and stuff at different churches just to show them the context of what the Christ did. The guy at Congregation Micah used to do it.
I don't know that one.
But now it's a female rabbi, and I think she does it too. But they do it for educational purposes.
Great.
So it's like, that's cool. But for you to take it as a Christian and be like, no, Jesus wasn't Jewish. He was a Christian because he is Christ.
Right, that's a lie.
Shut up.
That's
no,
erasure.
He wasn't. It's all very complicated. What Abby's doing is bad. But at least she's not making fun of people. What a fucking low bar.
Also,
the bar for white people is insanely low.
In this moment, I was struck. Holly looks fucking awesome. She looks so good.
Yeah,
like
fucking love
with
Holly.
her arms out. She got like Michelle Obama
Dr.
arms.
Holly, okay, I just remembered, went to see Beyonce. And she posted, like in LA, her night one, Cowboy Carter. She posted a TikTok video of a bunch of pictures of herself, which was awesome. It was awesome. I was like, fuck yeah, actually, hell yeah, Dr. Holly. Dr. Holly.
Yeah, I have in my notes. Just also, Holly looks so damn hot.
I love Dr. Holly. Right in, girl.
Dr.
Right
Holly,
in.
Give me 15 minutes. I'll change your life.
Dr. Holly, give me 15 minutes and I'll change your life more than he will, bitch.
Dr. Holly, give us 15 minutes.
Dr. Holly, I honestly, legitimately need to have a glass of wine with that woman.
Oh,
I just want to talk to her.
Oh, I would love that.
You know what I mean? And be like, girl, what? You know, like, how are you doing that?
How did you do
girl,
it?
how? Also, Iggy's falling asleep.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, anyway, the girls are going out to perform. Holly's nervous. Okay, Nia in her talking head is like, this is really important because I've been given a lead role and I don't want to lose and I want to have a lead role in nationals, blah, blah, blah. I am worried in all caps about this headpiece staying on because a group number goes.
Too.
She takes it off almost immediately. Thank fuck.
Yes, it was
she
just
like
to
does
set the tone.
like a couple of 8 counts and then takes it off and sets it down. Holy Christ! What?
Fun fact: I actually watched the dances today.
Ooh!
I know.
Look at you, Mr. Education.
So,
who says men can't know things? Period.
You do, kind of frequently.
You have no proof of that, but continue.
Yeah. I thought the dance was like kind of awesome.
No.
I thought the music was cool. And that played a big part in it for me. There was at one point where Chloe has her back turned. I'm going to get up and do this. for our audio listeners,
our visual listeners,
just our
people who are listening with their eyes.
Yeah, yeah. For those that are listening through their face,
what's happening?
At one point, Chloe has like her back turned like this, and the music like goes quiet for like a half second.
Oh yeah,
and then she
yeah.
goes bam like that
yes.
as the music like kicks back on.
Yeah.
She was so in time, and I was like, oh,
you were moved.
I was like, hell yeah, Chloe.
Hell yeah, Chloe. Period.
Awesome. And
it's almost like when a child is not being threatened within an inch of their life, they perform better.
Yeah, she's
interesting.
And, like locked in. It was super cool. Nia's facial performance got better as it went on.
True.
And at the end, she was like really locked in, and I like give a little minor fist pump. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Nia, let's go.
Maddie was still in the front the entire time. Even though Nia had a different colored costume and was like very obviously the leader, she was not front and center. Maddie was. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you could also make the argument that it was so she could get back to the platform a couple of times, but I did notice that too. I
also wrote, I hope she death drops on the drum. She did not. And then I said, what the hell is this ending? And then I said, that was so weird.
Yeah, the ending sucked.
The ending was crazy.
It kind of felt like they didn't have an ending, and they made it up.
Just stop.
They made it up at like in the green room beforehand.
Holly in her talking head said it was great and that Nia did a great job, and I don't disagree. We're back in the green room getting ready for the little solos, and Sarah is in the little category, the littlest category, and Mackenzie and Nia are in the same. Mackenzie and Tia, are in the same group as Ava. And we just get this like blanket reminder from Abby that if they make a mistake, they're going to be shot on sight, whatever. Commercial! Then we come back.
Commercial!
And Sarah... You got to get it together, bruh. Sarah goes first. Christy is already crying. She walks out on stage, Christy's crying. And she's literally been so chill this week. What the hell? Like she's been
like a normal mom.
She's been like a completely normal person. It's crazy. Sarah performs and she does really well.
It so worries me though about the show in general. How some moms can just fucking switch it on and off.
Yeah, it's scary. Oh.
Sorry, Iggy.
He's like, don't snap at me.
Sorry.
Abby, her talking, it says that she's impressed and that Sarah's facial expressions were impressive and whatever. Tia goes next. The close-up on Jeanette the baddie during Tia's performance was shady as fuck. Just throwing that out there. They're like, oh, Jeanette's here. I'm like, girl, shut up.
Yeah, she is.
Period. Tia does really well, and then Mackenzie goes next, and Mackenzie does really well.
So about Tia, because this is the first time I've like actually watched Sarah and Tia dance.
Right.
So I never watched the dances, but I was like, this is a good chance. I should at least know kind of where these kids are.
Sure.
Because like I watched a good bit of like Chloe and Maddie and the kids early on, so like I know that Chloe is awesome.
Yeah.
And so when I talk about her, I just like have that information. So I needed that today. That Tia solo, she looked like sassy, which was part of the character. She had decent like face performance, but she doesn't have like the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the X factor.
She doesn't quite go like even like Mackenzie will often like exaggerate her move. Like she knows how to do the thing. Tia doesn't have that yet. And then Sarah I thought was fine.
Yeah. Mackenzie's number is really packed more than the other two.
Also, before Mackenzie's number, Melissa did this. Like the cross.
The sign of the cross. Oh,
Has she ever done that before?
No.
What was that?
Melissa, what the hell, girl?
Is she even Catholic? What are we doing here?
No, but don't invoke the sign of the cross, girl. That's crazy. Abby says that there were mistakes and that all three of them, and she's like, I'm still nervous about beating Ava because these other three bitches are awful and whatever. Commercial, we come back. Ava performs, and she does really well, and Abby and her talking, it says that they could be in trouble.
One note that I had about Ava is like she is so long.
Yes.
And doesn't quite know, like Chloe is also a very long, like limbed person, very slender. Chloe knows how to like control and use her length, and Ava doesn't quite know it yet. She looked good. She like did well.
Right.
But she's not quite where Chloe is, in my opinion.
So this woman, Ava Michelle, this child goes on to be an actor.
Right. She was in Tall Girl.
Do you know how tall she is in real life?
6'1".
6'2". She's your height. So
hell yeah.
And it makes sense when she was 12 that she was already literally head and shoulders above the rest.
She was literally like 5'9", 5'10",
taller than
12
me.
years old.
Taller than me. Abby in the green room, she like goes down the line and talks shit on every child. It's like, this is why you suck. This is why you suck. You fucking suck the most. And then Abby's like, Maddie, how old are you? If she doesn't fucking know. And Maddie goes, 11.
Well, before she says that, she's like, listen, I've got two 11-year-olds and a 12-year-old that could go out there and kick butt and win. And then she pauses and then says, Maddie, how old are you?
Maddie's like 11. And she's like,
Abby,
put on a costume, let's go.
Abby, don't act like you don't know how old Maddie is. You say her name 12 times every night before you go to sleep. Like, you know everything there is to know about that child.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weirdo.
And also, so she enters Maddie to have a solo specifically to beat Ava.
Yes.
You knew, Abby Lee Miller, you knew when What's-Her-Bucket, Tia's mom, Tammy, when she said that Ava was going to be there, you knew Ava was going to be there. You should have just entered her right off the gate. There's no reason to wait it out like this except psychological torture.
My question is, are you allowed to do a last-second edition in a competition?
I doubt it. I'm sure she just didn't tell the other girls.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's kept that shit a secret.
Well, the moms had the program.
Yeah. I'm sure. Well,
something smells fishy here.
Yeah.
Either you're allowed to do last-second editions, which I highly doubt.
I mean,
but what's more likely,
if you're the owner of Energy Dance Competition or you're a judge and someone says Abby Lee Miller wants to enter Maddie in the next category, people are going to do it. They're going to break the rules for this franchise, for this show.
I guess. I can't imagine being the other parents there, because there was a kid who got like fourth or whatever who would have gotten third. Like, they would have gotten a little trophy or something. And now they didn't.
Right.
Because
Maddie
see if I
could hear Iggy snoring. Yeah, true. And then Tammy's really upset, and she's like, "Well, it's completely game over for Tia at this point."
Yes, it is.
And they put Maddie in with her same costume and song from last week, from Happiness, from that weird Rachel Sage girl.
Yeah.
And Christy and her talking and notes that this sucks for Mackenzie, because now Maddie is taking out Mackenzie's chances for a solo at Nationals. Let's be super fucking clear. Abby's gonna put in whoever the fuck she wants to put in.
Yeah.
So let's not pretend like this is actually going to have a legitimate effect on who goes to Nationals. Abby could say none of you bitches are going to Nationals at the last minute, and that wouldn't surprise me. So let's not front like that. It sucks that Melissa loves one of her children more than the other.
So
full
obviously.
stop. There's no need to put the mask of Nationals on it. Melissa sucks. She loves Maddie more. Period. That's it.
And so the moms get back to the green room, and they're all asking.
Maddie eats, duh.
Yeah, well, great. Yeah. But they get back to the green room, the moms do, and they're asking Melissa about this. And then, like, Melissa's like, oh, I didn't know that she was going to do it. Yes, you did. Mackenzie did great, and it's still her day. And then Christy says, no, it isn't. No, you took that away from her. You
ruined it. It's actually not her day
anymore. It's not her day.
You fucked it up.
She had a chance to do well, and then you put her older sister, who is clearly Abby's favorite, into a dance at the last second, swiping any joy that Mackenzie might have felt right away from her on purpose.
And Melissa says that Abby told Maddie to pack a costume in front of all the other girls because
so she wanted they knew it might happen.
Well, but she says that the reason why is so that Maddie could, like, be backstage in a costume and freak out Ava.
Which is another insane thing to do.
Arguably worse than just fair, square competition. To have her just parading around in a costume to inflict, like, guerrilla warfare on a 12-year-old is nuts.
Yeah.
She's fucking crazy, dude. I can't stand her.
I agree.
And Melissa is culpable in all of this. Like,
yes.
You're the co-signer for all this crazy bullshit,
Yes,
Melissa.
she's the enabler. But yeah, Christy says, yeah, it's not about Mackenzie. You took that away from her. Melissa then in her talking head says, this was about the team winning. I don't need anyone to tell me how to parent my children.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, every other mom there actually could probably give you a hint here.
And also, like, I am a woman with no children. I'm not a mom. But just because you have a child doesn't mean you're a good mom.
Yeah, you still, yeah.
Just because when you have a child, you don't become a good mom. You are just a person who had a child. But that doesn't make you you don't automatically become the authority on parenting when you have a child. That's fucking bullshit. So to be like, I know what's best for my kid because I'm their mom, maybe you should take some cues off of every other person in that room. The only person who agrees with Melissa's stance is the person who's weaponizing Melissa's stance to her benefit. All of your friends and all of these other moms are telling you to look inward. You should take their advice.
Also, if you were a good parent, there wouldn't be such a high need for therapists in the world. Like, if just because you have a kid means you know how to raise a kid, there wouldn't be nearly as many therapists.
That's very true. And your children wouldn't be in chronic throwing that out.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out. They might be, but maybe not for as long.
Yeah. Christy then says Melissa only looks out for Maddie.
True.
Mackenzie gets to lose today because you let Maddie dance. Yep. Nothing else matters as long as Abby and Maddie come out on top.
Yep. True.
And then Holly echoes Christy and says this was Mackenzie's chance to prove herself and come out on top. You robbed her of that.
True.
100%.
T as fuck.
Get fucked, Melissa.
Get fucked. Jill in her talking head says that Melissa should be ashamed of herself because she ruined her child's chances for the benefit of the other child. True.
Yeah, which, say it to her face, Jill.
Holly I know. Come on, Jill. I hope Christy, you did, and they just cut it out.
Yeah, Holly and Christy said it to you out loud, clearly.
Yeah.
You're like,
by the way, I don't think that was very nice.
Yeah,
say
cool.
It to her face. Call your friends out.
Huge balls on this woman. Before we get to the awards, all the kids are on stage doing the Gangnam Style dance again.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love 2014.
Yeah.
Including
the guy giving the awards.
Yeah, I mean, period. When we get to the awards, Sarah, little tiny baby Sarah, gets first in her category. Very slay of her.
Petite solo.
Petite. Tia gets 5th. Fucking yikes. And Mackenzie gets 3rd. Fucking yikes.
Would have gotten 2nd.
It pisses me off because Abby says, look, I was right. Mackenzie didn't win. It wasn't her moment. I was right. But if you didn't enter Maddie, she would have gotten 2nd, you dumb idiot woman. I'm so sorry, but the mask girl.
Well, she thinks that all the other moms are thrilled that the ALDC won the solo category. That's what she thinks matters the most. She doesn't give a shit about the kids that do it. She's just like, a first place is a first place, and we're all happy about that.
Whatever. Ava gets 2nd, Maddie gets 1st. Maddie at this point, I mean, she's been like this for a while, but it's also like painfully obvious here. She doesn't look like she's having fun. She's like, thanks.
She also only won by a point.
By 1 point, yeah. She's like soft smiling at the camera, not really having a great time.
Yeah.
We get back to the green room. Everybody's like, woo, yay. And the group number wins first. So everybody's like pretty excited in the green room. Everybody's pretty hype about it.
Holly says that this proves that Nia can lead and the OG girls can win.
And she says, she asks Abby, like, does this prove that Nia can have a solo at Nationals? And Abby says, no. Awesome. Sick. So it was all for nothing.
I think she was saying that this proves that Nia should at least go to Nationals.
Oh, well, again, Abby's going to do whatever she wants.
Nia's not getting a solo.
No,
we know that. It's just Abby has threatened her not even getting to go.
Girl, I hate this show.
When they have that conversation, by the way, Abby says or Holly says how do you think she did? And Abby kind of says a decent metaphor. She gets through it a little clunkily, but she says it takes a long time to get from when we're adding all the ingredients and mixing it up until we get the finished cookie. She says cookies. We have the ingredients for the cookies and it takes a very long time to get from there to the finished cookies.
Which is fair.
And that's correct. It takes Nia a lot of extra help to get to where Abby wants her to be, but she does. And then Holly's like, but are the cookies ones that you want to eat? Which is a fair question.
Was it worth it?
Let me work it.
Put my thing up, flip it, and reverse it. And is the juice worth the squeeze? Jesus Christ.
And Abby doesn't really answer. Holly asks, "Is that a cookie you want to eat?" And then
she's
it goes to another thing.
Christy asks if Sarah can have a solo, and Abby says no. At Nationals, because she's like, if the age divisions are chopped up the way that I think they will be, Maddie's going to be the person doing a solo, so I can win.
She says Nationals are 9 through 11 years old. I'm putting Maddie in. Come on, how long have you all known me? Then what was all this for, Abby?
What are we doing?
What was it all for?
I hate it here.
Nothing.
Jeanette the baddie walks into the green room with Ava, and Christy calls her a stalker. And Abby gives Jeanette the baddie a hard time about being, entered not under the ALDC. She's like, you could have called me and asked me if that was okay. And she says, no fruit basket, no card from your child, no gift of flowers, nothing for me. And Jeanette's like, why the fuck would I do that? She's like, I own a fucking dance studio. It's my child. Why the hell would I do that? And she's like, would have been nice for you to ask me. Hey, Abby, shut up.
Well, because she knows Melissa, and Melissa is neck deep in Abby's behind.
True. So. And then Jeanette the baddie leaves, and Abby's like, don't ever come back. You're cut off the team, blah, blah, blah. Tammy asks, she says, Miss Abby, I need to go to the restroom. Is that okay? And Abby goes, yes, it is.
Oh, I almost threw up.
For those of you who are familiar with NXIVM, it's giving that. It's giving Master May I. Sorry. For people who are not involved in the cult world, that was an insane sentence. But for people who know what I'm talking about, it's also an insane sentence. That's crazy. That's some crazy bullshit. You're a grown-ass woman. Tammy meets up with Jeanette in the hallway and is basically like, I told you so.
Yes.
Which, like, okay, whatever. But
she
then Jeanette
did.
says her hands were tied and she had no option. Hey, what? Yes, you did have an option.
Run
you
a
could
dance
have
studio
options to not do that, and you did it anyway. Why? No one's forcing you to enter.
Yeah, go to a different competition. Do something else. Like, what
enter another child. Like, do
yeah.
literally anything but this. There was you didn't have to do this, girl.
Yeah, I thought that was so wild.
And then Abby's like, we have 2 more weeks, and then our dance concert. So annoying. Before Nationals, so, like, get your shit in gear. And then that's the end of the episode.
Oh, fucking
What an exhausting episode.
Yes. So, oh. Mom's home.
I think it's already unlocked, Mom. Okay, there we go. Don't hit the camera.
Hell yeah.
Slay. What's your song of the week, my brother in Christ?
The song of the week is She's So Untouchable by Garden City Movement.
Slay. Are you a Soundgarden person?
I like Soundgarden.
Okay.
This isn't them.
I think they're coming to Nashville. I saw an ad for them the other day, and I was like, I wonder if Eli would want to go.
Well, Chris Cornell passed away, so I don't care.
Okay.
I thought
you were gonna say that's why they're doing like a show or something. And I was like, oh
no, this was a couple of years back, but his voice is like, I think one of the better rock voices.
He's like that guy from Linkin Park.
90s and 2000s. Yeah, it's very like iconic voice.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But yeah, so like Soundgarden, they're a fine band, but he like really helped make the band.
Yeah.
And so without him, I just don't. I'm also not a huge live music guy. Anyway, Garden City Movement, She's So Untouchable is the song, and it's really good. I've submitted a song by them before. I think I did Foreign Affair, which is really good.
Slay.
But yeah, so there's 2 Garden City Movement songs on the playlist.
My song of the week is a song called Ya Ya by Beyonce. It's off the Cowboy Carter album. Raise your hand if you're surprised. That's what I thought. There's a moment in that song, speaking of me crying at literally everything, there's a moment in that song where she says, hello, ladies, and then like her backup singers go, hello, Beyonce, and people at the concerts, she does that at the concerts, and everyone, and I thought about how I'm gonna say hello to Beyonce, started crying in my car the other day, and she says, hello, fellas, and they go, you look mighty swell, and she's like, those petty ones can't fuck with me, you know why? Because I'm a clever girl, and that's how the song starts.
What was the song called?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Pyramid Podcast at gmail.com.
Oh, I thought you were actually about to wrap it up.
Stuff.
Okay.
I was saying you can follow us at the Pyramid Pod on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at @NotAmandaB_. You can follow Eli on Instagram. He's at Eli_Farmer_. Our email is thepyramidpodcast@gmail.com. Listen.
Y'all been crushing
them emails. And let me tell you, the barrier to entry for the inbox, non-existent.
You don't have
inbox
to
be wide open, bitch. It doesn't matter if you've never emailed us before. If you've got a thought about this episode or your pyramid of life, or you want to talk about books or whatever, send us an email. And the only person who has access to the inbox is me. So you're basically emailing me. You're DMing us, but you're emailing me.
Yeah.
So, just throwing that out there.
We always love to hear from you guys. We have like a very dedicated core group of listeners and emailers, but don't think that you have to be bestie Tony or something.
We read them all. Yeah, I read all of them.
Everyone, please email. We love hearing from you.
Leave us a review if you feel like it. Leave us a comment if you feel like it.
Share with a friend.
Share with a friend if you feel like it.
Share with an enemy if you feel like it.
If you feel like it, yeah. That's
Good night,
all I've
Alyssa.
got. Rachel, do you have any thoughts?
Peace and love from Rachel.
Okay, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace and love.
All right, let's order pizza and love.
Shut up.